hapless day for JD here at Wrigley Field, but warming up a little bit and beautiful weather.
Beautiful down on the field, a little cooler here in the shade, but a great day to play. Not quite as pitcher friendly as we've seen in recent days and nights. Should be an interesting ball game today. We've got a very lopsided pitching matchup, and those always scare you, right? Arrieta, the reigning Cy Young Award winner, who's been so good here, and the youngster Christian Bergman making a spot start out of the bullpen for the Rockies.
Let's go back to yesterday, game one of this series, and it was really the first day where nothing really went right for the Cubs. The Rockies played terrific defense all over the diamond. You mentioned the Gold Glovers, and those guys came to play. Parra, LeMahieu, Gonzalez helping out their pitcher, Chad Bettis. Didn't think Kyle Hendricks was that bad. He didn't get a ton of help.
No, I thought Kyle Hendricks threw the ball well, threw a ton of strikes. Sinker was working well for him. A little sloppy play defensively. Chris Bryant made a couple errors. That's a very difficult error on Addison Russell there. Actually made a heck of a play with the glove. And then fielder's choice there on a little mishandle by Rizzo on a do-or-die play. So, yeah, sloppy play, maybe day game after night game. But all added up to a 6-1 Rocky win.
Cubs still ranked third in the majors in defensive efficiency despite those 4 errors. And today they turn to the ace, who's also hitting the ball out of the ballpark. One of the longer home runs we've seen in a while in his second start of the year. He did give up some runs, but pitched like Jake normally pitches.
Yeah, I mean, he has set the bar so high. He allowed 3 runs in 7 innings. He gave up a couple home runs in that ball game, one to Goldsmith, the other one to Socrates Brito. It was his first major league home run, but at the end of the day, it was still yet another quality start for Arrieta. He's rattled off 22 in a row of those, and check out what he has done here at Wrigley Field. His last 5 starts here in this ballpark, he has given up nada.
Right, no runs in his last 40 2/3 innings. The last run scored against Jake Arrieta in this ballpark was during Cole Hamels' no-hitter. That was July 25th of 2015. When we come back, we'll talk to his battery mate today, David Ross, with Kelly Kroll when we return. Rockies and Cubs game 2 coming up. Lots of sunshine, blue skies above. And we are just minutes away from the first pitch. And Kelly Crawl caught up earlier with Cubs veteran catcher David Ross.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Here with David Ross, game 2 against the Rockies. David, I want to go back. You watched kind of what unfolded yesterday in game 1, and it seemed really uncharacteristic of this team. I mean, how do you just chalk that up to just kind of letting it go and then come back today? The 24-hour rule, as Joe likes to call it.
Yeah, it was an ugly one yesterday. You just kind of, I mean, we know baseball and these guys, when you go through a full season, you understand how many games we have, and you just gotta, you're gonna have bad days. Everybody has them, and we had a couple guys have bad ones yesterday, so just part of it, and that's usually how I end up pitching in the back of the end of a game sometimes, just when everybody has a bad day. But we know we have a good team, and we're going to have some off days, and we're 8-2. If you started the season and said we could start off first 10 games 8-2, I think we would all take that in here. So we're just going to go out and try to approach each day as its own, and that's what we plan on doing today, going out there and putting our best foot forward.
Good to know you weren't warming up then yesterday.
No, thank goodness.
Well, and how about having Jake follow that up? It's so nice to be like, oh, well, we're just going to throw our Cy Young winner out there then tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about having good pitching is that, even Kyle threw pretty good yesterday, but knowing you got the reigning Cy Young Award winner going the next day always is a comfort. And again, we try to take each day as its own and go out there and put our best foot forward and let these guys attack the opposing pitcher, how we game plan for him. And Jake's going to have to throw well today. They got a really good lineup. It's a good team, I mean, this is the major leagues. Everybody we play is good. So this is a really good team over there, and we're going to go out there and try to figure out a way to beat them today.
You mentioned the 8-2 start. I know getting off to a hot start was something Joe addressed. You guys addressed with some of the younger guys how important that is to a season. But does it surprise you at all that it has come together so quickly? I mean, despite just one game here or there.
No, I don't think so. I think in spring training, the back end when guys started getting together, the full team, I think we wanted to play well together, and we started to do that in the spring training. And so to hit our stride, I mean, there's a good team in Arizona that we were playing. Anaheim as it was a tough bunch. So it was nice to get home and play against Cincinnati. But we know there's better competition ahead, like Colorado, like St. Louis. The road ahead is going to be tough. So it's a long season. A lot of things can happen. And so, we just try to approach it each day. And we've done a good job so far of individualizing the day. And and we've had a bad day here or there, but it's going to happen.
Total sidebar here, but I think Chris Bryant, this is kind of the anniversary weekend for 1 year in the majors for him, and he said he might rent out the party room and throw himself in. How does that sound? I mean, that seems about right?
Yeah, well, it's funny how established these guys are already, and they got a year in, but I feel like they've been here. Him and Schwartz and Addy, I feel like they've been here a lot longer than a year. It's crazy to look back on that, and neither one of them have a year. So. We'll give him some razz today. I'm glad you reminded me of that, because I'll rip him a little bit today about not getting too comfy.
Oh no, I just did that, but I know it'll be all in good fun. David, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Anytime, Kelly.
Guys.
Good stuff, Kelly, with David Ross. So Ross, Baez, Caesar, all in the lineup today.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to Javi a little bit when I got to the ballpark this morning. He had a little extra bounce in his step. Very excited to get his 2016 season started. It's going to be interesting to see how Joe Madden uses him, but at second today, we'll see him at short from time to time. You got to get the kids some at-bats.
And by the way, this is career game number 162 for the aforementioned Chris Bryant. Now down to the field, John Vincent with our national anthem.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and join John Vincent as he honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? And the hope of the brave.
That's how you do it. John Vincent, take a breath, young man. Cubs hosting the Rockies on a gorgeous day at Wrigley coming up. Welcome to Chicago Cubs baseball on CSN, presented to you by State Farm. Another big crowd on hand and a gorgeous day for Cubs baseball here on CSN. The Chicago Cubs host the Colorado Rockies. Great to have you with us alongside Jim DeShays. I'm Len Casper. Cubs 8-2, off to a great start. Yesterday, not so good, but it's only one day.
It's the nature of baseball. Even the best teams are going to have a clunker from time to time. I believe Joe Madden says they can't all be oil paintings. Yesterday was a little ugly, but you see the first 9 games better than 7 runs per game. A lot of hits, a lot of walks, high on base percentage. Yesterday they just scored the singleton, managed just 4 hits. That kid Chad Bettis, the youngster for the Rockies, was really good.
Well, we talked last weekend when we saw the Diamondbacks, two of the best first basemen in the league, and Paul Goldschmidt and Anthony Rizzo. We're going to go across the diamond today. Nolan Arenado and Chris Bryant.
Yeah, it could be a brokered convention for the All-Star game between these two guys. And for the foreseeable future, Arenado is turning 25 today. Chris Bryant's 24, two of the best third basemen, not young third baseman, just best third baseman, period, in all of baseball.
Interesting matchup today. It'll be the first time the Rockies have used a fifth starter. Spot start for Christian Bergman. And the Cubs going with their ace. Jake Arrieta tries to improve to 3-0. First pitch is next.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency. Low fares. Nothing to hide.
Look at that. Gorgeous day. And the temperature rising as each day moves along. A little cool in the shade, beautiful in the sun. And Jake Arrieta on the mound here at Wrigley Field. Rockies Southwest starting lineup. Christian Adames spot start for DJ LeMahieu today. Trevor Story hitless yesterday. Only the second time to start the season. Cargo has hit in 20 in a row going back to the end of last year. Arenado, Para, Reynolds in the middle. Ryan Rayburn, the left fielder. Dustin Garneau, the catcher. And Christian Bergman, don't know how long he'll go, but probably not too deep into this game.
A little different look for the Cubs defensively this afternoon as Caesar gets a start. He's out there in the outfield with Fowler and Soler. They're actually flip-flops. He's just going to play right, Soler left. Bryant Russell Baez gets a start at second, and Big Riz at first. Grandpa Ross behind the plate for our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher. It's Jake Arrieta, the big righty, off to a great start here in 2016 as he looks to defend his Cy Young Award. 2 starts, 2 wins, a 1.93 ERA, 40 2/3 consecutive scoreless here at Wrigley. 22 consecutive quality starts for Arrieta dating back to last year. During that stretch, he is 18-1 with a 0.95 earned run average. You want more? I'll give you more. Since August 1st of last year, 14 starts, 13 wins, no losses, and a 0.62 ERA. It's enough to make a Rocky hitter stay in bed.
Bill Welke is the crew chief today. John Hirschbeck had to leave the game early yesterday after taking a foul ball that hit the dirt and came up, caught him in the jaw or the chin. So he will not work the rest of this weekend, and we certainly hope he is all right. Carapazza, Fagan, and Marvin Hudson around the bases. So the switch hitting Christian Adames will start it. His first start of the year. And And the switch hitter fouls to get us underway. Rockies 6 runs, sorry, JD, with no extra base hits yesterday.
Yeah, it was a weird day, just an odd game. I mean, they didn't get anything out of the top of their batting order. Nolan Arenado did not hit the ball out of the infield, but they did manage to score 6 runs.
Popped up bunt attempt, foul. .54 degrees, east wind at 5. So the wind has kind of been similar here these last few days in terms of the direction. The 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3.
Strikeouts against 1 walk in the first 2 starts for Arrieta, and he beats Adames with a high heater there. Jake will go consistently in that 94 to 96 range with the fastball. The lane changing slider, good curveball. The changeup has turned into a great weapon for him as well.
Here's Trevor's Story. 0 for 5 yesterday. A couple of strikeouts. And he's down 0-1. And we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Ligtel Communications, Ligonier, Indiana. Swirling and a miss.
That thing found another gear. Hop on that heater. Story is a little bit of an uppercut swing. He's an extreme fly ball hitter. And early on, the ball's been flying out of the ballpark for him.
First time he's missed. Get back out of play. The top 3 offensive clubs in terms of runs per game right now are the Cardinals, the Cubs, and the Rockies, and we will see the Cardinals on Monday.
Cardinals hit 6 home runs in their ball game yesterday against the Reds.
Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks to start it for Arrieta.
I love that shot right there. That camera, that look from behind home plate. You see the way he closes off that front side, has that little rocking motion, hides the ball, creates deception to go along with that outstanding stuff.
Here's Gonzalez. He's hit in all 10 to start this season. He had 2 hits yesterday. Cubs over shift to the right on the infield.
Finished last year with a 10-game hitting streak and starts this year with a 10-game streak.
He's the 4th player, according to Elias, in the last 50 years to do that. And 1 season with at least a 10-gamer. Start the next year with 1.
I would say the big righty's feeling pretty crisp out there today as he looks to punch out the side from the top of the first.
And fans already standing, and we're 10 pitches into the ball game. The 0-2 is outside.
It's the changeup.
do it again. Rockies have won 3 in a row. They're 6-4 through 10. Cubs are 8-2. Already their 6th game against the National League West. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Arrieta strikes out the side in his home debut here in 2016. Cubs coming up when we come back. Cubs leadoff man gets a hit. Denny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository, and pretty decent chance that'll happen because Dexter Fowler comes in hitting .424 on the year. And the rest of the Cubs Southwest starting lineup looks like this. Chris Bryant is moving up and hitting second. Anthony Rizzo, Jorge Soler in the cleanup. Javier Baez makes his season debut. Russell batting sixth. Matt Caesar is in right today. David Ross the catcher. And Jake Arrieta the pitcher. Christian Bergman, swingman, making a spot start. And ball one on the ex-Rocky Dexter Fowler.
Bergman, the Alexis pursuing perfection starting pitcher for the Rockies here this afternoon. He's worked a couple times out of the bullpen, and not much of a sample there to go on. He's a strike thrower, not a hard thrower. Velocity 88 to 90 miles an hour. Slider, good changeup. Occasionally a curveball. It's all about command for him. It's a good change.
27 years old. He'll turn 28 on May 4th. He's filling the role as he'll handle Fowler, backed by John Gray, who was on the disabled list.
Rockies defensively, they've got the Gold Glovers sprinkled around the diamond. Parra and Gonzalez, both Gold Glovers in the outfield. They're joined by Ryan Rayburn, the veteran in left. Arenado has won 3 consecutive Gold Gloves to start his career. Story, the youngsters committed just 1 error so far. Adames and Reynolds will patrol the right side, and Dustin Garneau will do the catching today.
Chris Bryant takes a strike. Gray on the DL with an abdominal issue and might be ready for the next turn through the rotation. Again, number 162 in terms of games played for Chris Bryant. This is his 697th career plate appearance. 24 years old. We had the comparison in the open with Nolan Arenado, who turns 25 today. Cubs trying to spoil his birthday. 2-2. Basically a bullpen day now for the Rockies. We do not expect Bergman to go too deep into this game. Called strike 3. They get Bryant.
Bergman taking a page out of Chad Bettis' playbook. The starter yesterday worked very quickly. Bergman doing the same here today, and that one catches the bottom of the knees.
That will bring up Anthony Rizzo. Snapped an 0 for 19 with a 6th inning single yesterday.
Some splits on Bergman. Had more success out of the bullpen as a starter. A 6.14 ERA. He's made 14 career starts.
Oh, 0-1.
This is his first ever appearance here at Wrigley Field. Same for the catcher Garneau.
I think it's the first time he's ever been in this ballpark. Oh, 2. Soler on deck. And he'll have to lead off the second. Cubs baseball on CSN is presented to you by State Farm. CSNChicago.com, presented by State Farm. Pretty impressive first inning for both starting pitchers. Arrieta struck out the side. Bergman 1-2-3 fanned 2, so nobody has yet hit the ball out of the infield. And here is the birthday boy, Nolan Arenado. He scored twice yesterday, but did not knock in a run for the first time in 5 games. He had 11 RBIs his previous 4. Leads the majors with 14 knocked in. And 130 last year to pace MLB. We haven't even talked about his defense yet. High sky today as Russell makes the catch. That's where spending 6 weeks in Arizona helps.
Yeah, that's a challenge on a day like today, man. That's a high sky overhead. Bright blue, no clouds to break it up. You got a little breeze as well. He's using that glove to shade his eyes as best he can, all the while calling. Well done.
Now Gerardo Parra coming off his 3rd consecutive 2-hit game. the years their left fielder, but play a lot of center with Charlie Blackmon on the disabled list.
He loves hitting here. Lifetime .371 at Wrigley. That's the best among active players with at least 20 games in this ballpark.
Two and one on them. So the Rockies without an extra base hit yesterday, but they do lead the majors with 49. 2-2.
Hara had his best home run year last year. He hit 14. You think of him more as a singles and doubles guy.
Terrific defender in the outfield. Arrieta quickly to Rizzo.
Cubs' next homestand will feature 3 games with the Brewers and a weekend set with the Braves. Tickets are going fast. Visit Cubs.com today. Plan for the games you'd like to see all season long. A reminder, the Cubs have added metal detectors at all Wrigley Field gates. Gates will open 2 hours before each game. Please make sure to give yourself extra time to enter the ballpark. For additional information, visit Cubs.com/security.
Well, you've got a big-time strikeout pitcher and a guy at the plate who has fanned a lot. 1,526 career strikeouts for Mark Reynolds. That tied for the 52nd most in Major League history, currently with Willie Mays. Reynolds has played in 1,265 games. Mays played in 2,992. Baez, a nice play to get there, but not a good throw, and the barrier saved him from an error. That ball nearly went out of play.
I chalk that up to the exuberance of youth. Well, he didn't pay a price, and he'll be reminded in the dugout, hey, Javi, just put that one in your back pocket. Fortunately, it didn't trickle into the dugout and give Reynolds an extra base.
So now it's Ryan Rayburn. Back-to-back starts for the first time this season. He went 2 for 3 on Friday. Breath by Arrieta. And behind now 2-0. Jake was born in Missouri, grew up in Texas, to Weatherford College, and then Texas Christian University. Turned 30 on March 6th. Popped up. Still nobody's hit one out of the infield. Baez makes the grab. We go to the bottom of the second, scoreless.
back to a packed Wrigley Field as we head to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. Javier Baez due up this inning. His Wrigley Field debut this season, if you will, and he is pumped to be up here and finally healthy. And he said after a couple up and down seasons, his biggest goal this year is consistency, both at the plate and in the field. And certainly Joe Maddon knows that the more playing time he can get him, the more comfortable he will be. He would love to get him out there, guys, 2 to 3 times a week, he said. Of course, filling in for Ben Zobrist today, but he also would love to use him for Addison Russell or even in the field, guys.
Okay, Kelly, thank you. Jorge Soler with a leadoff single.
Well, and here comes Baez. He's going to get that chance now to do a little something following up that leadoff single by Soler. John Maley on the batting cage today talking about Soler. Really likes his approach of late. See him laying off those outside sliders yesterday?
So his season debut, nice job by Garneau to keep that ball in front of him and keep Soler at first. I saw a quote from Javi when he was on his rehab assignment, because remember the injury, the left thumb bruise, occurred on a headfirst slide in spring training. He's trying to condition himself to generally go feet first as a result. But you can get hurt doing both. It was a headfirst slide into first, which is usually frowned upon.
Yeah, unless there's an errant throw and you're looking to avoid a tag. You're quicker if you stay upright and run through the base.
Tap to third, tough play Arenado, and late infield hit Baez, and the Cubs have 2 on with nobody out.
Well, pretty play by Arenado, but Baez runs well. Not only that, he runs fast, and he's got himself an infield knock. Chance for a little early noise here in the bottom of the second. You might not need much with Arrieta on the mound. Big chance here for Addison Russell.
Here is Russell. 5-game hitting streak, following a 2 for 17 in his first 5 games this season.
It's a right-handed leading lineup for Joe Maddon today, and you might say, well, that's kind of weird with a righty on the mound. But when you look at the right-left splits for Bergman in his career, it makes perfect sense. He's been far better against left-handed hitters than right-handed hitters.
Double play ball. Story and Adames team up on a 6-4-3. And that will leave it up to Matt Caesar with 2 outs and a runner at third.
Just kind of rolled over on that one, and fairly routine double play.
Second start for Matt. 5th career start in right field. Can play all 3 spots in the outfield. 1 ball, no strikes.
The left-right splits for Bergman in his career, far better against lefties. He's got a good changeup, and I think that's what helps neutralize them. And he doesn't have a real good breaking pitch, and that's probably why the right-handers have had success.
He's been efficient here early as Carlos Gonzalez makes a catch. Cubs cannot convert. Chicago Fire look to extend their unbeaten streak to 4 games as they defend home field against the first place Montreal Impact. Coverage starts at 3:30 on CSN+. Scoreless tie as we start the 3rd inning. Catcher Dustin Garneau. So they had Justin Morneau and Dustin Garneau last year. Morneau has not signed with anybody. So dealt with some concussion issues. Rockies also today, coincidentally, placed their catcher Nick Hundley on the 7-day concussion disabled list. Took a ball off the mask the other day. So Garneau replaced Charlie Blackmon on the active roster. David Hale is here, a right-hander, and we'll probably see him pitch today. He replaces Hundley. So you've got some inexperience back of the plate now with Hundley out for a bit. And Garneau and Walters, who was pretty impressive yesterday.
Yeah. Solid behind the plate. Had a good day at the plate. Can run a little bit. He's stolen 3 bases already this year.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Pitcher Bergman is on deck.
Garneau cannot sit on a fastball here. Jake threw him a 2-0 slider for strike 1 in this sequence.
Out. He rocketed one in and out of the visitors' dugout.
Garneau was a 19th round pick. Bergman, the pitcher, 24th round pick. Making their Wrigley Field debuts here today.
A line drive out into the gap. He's trying for 2. The throw there. He's safe. A leadoff double as Garneau took a chance. But when you're facing Jake Arrieta, I think it's probably a good risk to take.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to push it a little bit. And the play was in front of him. A heck of a throw by Caesar. Just in ahead of that tag.
Yeah, and if he kept his hand on the base, he was definitely safe. Cubs are making sure, and Joe will not challenge. So here's the pitcher Bergman, who will try to bunt his battery mate to 3rd. He hit over 340 as a high school senior in La Cañada, California. Knocked down by Ross.
Make it easy for him. Rizzo will not. He'll be right up in his grill there. Ideally for Bergman, he'd like to bunt this ball towards Bryant, force him to abandon 3rd base. And if Rizzo's too aggressive, they may let Bergman pull the bat back and try to slap it by him.
Arrieta will try to work out of this. He has not allowed a run in this ballpark since July 25th of last year. Covers almost 43 innings. Didn't look very comfortable as Bergman fouled it.
Almost got it done. Arrieta did not pitch against the Rockies last year. He's faced them twice in his career. They both came in 2014. Pitched a real good ball game here against the Rockies, but in Colorado he got knocked around, and that's, there's a lot of pitchers that's the story. Good against them in our park, but up there in Denver, not so much. allowed career highs in hits and runs in that start in Colorado. 13 hits, 9 runs. Back in August of 2014.
Dropped by Baez. He's still got time to get Bergman at first. He wanted to throw to third. So Bergman will not get a sacrifice because he swung away, but he got the desired result.
Yeah, he will still get the fist bumps and the high fives in the dugout.
Correct.
Baez shortened up there. Had a shot. Would have had a shot at Garneau, I believe, at third base.
Looks to me like Baez has a new teal glove. Cornerman in, back up the middle against Adames, and he takes a strike. And now, with Arrieta ahead in the count, Baez and Russell will move in.
Yeah, ahead in the count, but I also think he was just a little late in getting a notice or recognizing the situation that they should be in.
Yeah, I thought it was odd that they were back to begin with. 0-2.
And you know, this is one of those baseball decisions. It's not black or white. It's gray whether to play the infield in or back in this situation. A lot of managers will keep the infield back this early in the ball game because if with the infield in, there's a chance he pokes one through that drawn in infield, and you've got 2, 3, 4 coming up behind him. But when you've got Arrieta on the mound, you like his chances against just about anybody, regardless of where you are in the batting order. So why concede anything?
Runner's going to hold as Rizzo steps on first. Two outs, and it's the shortstop, Story. Arrieta, by the way, did give up 4 runs here in the playoffs against St. Louis. It was game 3 of the division series, but when we talk scoreless streaks and the like and batting streaks, that's reserved for the regular season. Although you could make a case, because the playoff games are more important, that should all kind of count.
Yeah, and just in terms of official record keeping,
right,
you differentiate between the regular season and the postseason.
And that keeps players kind of on a level playing field, because certain guys would have extra chances in those bigger spots. Fouled by Story. To a sizzling start, 0 for 6 in this series. Player of the week in the NL last week. In his first week in the majors, 7 homers in 6 games.
Talk about him being a fly ball hitter. He hasn't really been able to lift the ball yet in this series. I was looking yesterday, it's one of those esoteric stats, is that a cutter, 44%, nearly half of his fly balls have ended up in the seats. Which, one, speaks to his power, two, there's no way you can sustain that. Ooh, Jake was walking off just a little bit outside. Welke gave it a long look, deemed it off the corner, and he was correct.
And he went around Ball gets away from Ross. Scoreless streak here at Wrigley intact through 3 as Arrieta escapes.
Coors Light is Timothy O'Toole's Pub. To see the complete list of the CSN bars of the game presented by Coors Light, visit csnchicago.com. Timothy O'Toole played the PCL back in the 30s. Hard-hitting Irishman, 30 lifetime average.
David Ross will get consecutive starts with John Lester pitching tomorrow. And a strike called. Scoreless here in the 3rd. 0-1 off the outside edge.
I don't know if batting practice is predictive at all, but I was watching him swing it today. It looked awfully good in the cage.
Had a good spring and off to a good start here in the regular season. Limited chances.
And we were in Arizona. I was chatting with Mark Grace and Dave Magadan, the hitting instructors for the Diamondbacks. And Magadan said in Japan it did matter. But sometimes if they were watching BP and a guy had a really good BP, they would take somebody out of the lineup and insert that player in.
Wow. Pressure.
Puts a lot of pressure on your BP because some guys, and he and Gracie got talking about Eddie Murray, the Hall of Famer, and he was just a horrific BP hitter, man. He had a hard time getting the ball out of the cage.
Well, hit the wind. Oh, what a catch by Gonzalez up against the padding there. I thought the wind was going to push it out of play, as it likes to do on days like this. Cargo. Fearless.
You see, he takes that one look at the wall. He knows what's about to hit him. It's kind of like that wide receiver running the crossing pattern, knowing he's about to get a helmet in the ribs, but he stays with it, makes the catch, takes the hit, and hangs on.
Great play. And we'll bring up Arrieta. His 3rd career home run on Sunday in Arizona. One of the longest we've seen. Over 440 feet. Of Shelby Miller. This one pretty well hit to right. Gonzalez with an easier play this time. Time now for our Xfinity high-speed action. He got all of that one.
Yes, he did. 440, 442, something like that, I believe, was the final number.
So 2 outs. It's Fowler grounded to the mound his first time up. Well, I'll tell you, if you're Walt Weiss, if Bergman gets through this third inning unscathed, you're really playing with house money. You got essentially a reliever making a start here today, and he knows he's going to have to use a lot of bullpen. Bergman hasn't even made 30 pitches yet.
Yeah. So trending right now, he's going to use less bullpen than he would have anticipated. And we've talked a lot this year about the Cubs and the way they wear down starting pitchers. That was not the case yesterday, nor is it the case today. These guys very efficient, and I think instructive too for other pitchers. I think you might as well be aggressive. If you nibble, you're going to end up putting yourself in hitters' counts. You're going to end up walking a ton of people.
Fowler leads the majors in times on base. 24 times he has reached already. On base percentage .545. And he walks, so that OBP will go up. Cubs taking their major league leading 58 walk. Sign up for the Chicago Cubs baseball summer camps presented by ATI Physical Therapy and Ideal Industries. Young sluggers 5 to 13 will suit up in Cubs gear, meet a current Cub player during a VIP Wrigley Field visit, and get top-notch baseball instruction around the Chicagoland area. To enroll your child in a camp experience of a lifetime, it's Cubs.com/kids. Man on, 2 down. Cubs batting in the third. 0-2. Cardinals continue to score runs. The Reds continue to struggle with their pitching. It's 4-0 St. Louis in the bottom of the third. Brandon Finnegan on the mound today. I believe he's given up 4 unearned runs due to a Scott Schebler error in the second. Stephen Piscotty with a 3-run homer.
Man, Cardinals have scored 10 runs or more in 4 of their last 6 games. And in other baseball news, welcome to the win column. Minnesota Twins and Atlanta Braves both starting 0-9, but both picked up much needed W's yesterday.
Braves were down 3-0 in the 7th. Came back to win on the road. Chris Sale with a 2-hit shutout in the White Sox 1-0 win at Tampa Bay last night.
He's 3-0 already.
Both Chicago teams are 8-2 to start the year. Nationals going to today having won 6 in a row. They're 8-1. Orioles are 8-2 as well. Now they're making him work. Just after I said he was efficient about 11 pitches ago. Goes on the 3-2, called strike 3, and that's the inning. So Bryant's been caught looking twice, and still 0-0.
playoffs shifts to Chicago as Crawford and the Hawks look to take advantage of home ice and take down the Blues. Don't miss Puck Drop tomorrow at 2 on NBC. Then flip to CSN after the game for Blackhawks post-game live with Pat, Steve, and Jamal. What a good win last night.
Ooh,
no such thing as a bad win, but
what a
wild
dandy third period that was. Ball one on Carlos Gonzalez. Called strike. 1-1. Arenado and Parra. Tough part of this order. It's big games against the Cubs in his career. End of the bat, floated into left center, and a base hit for an 11-game hitting streak to start the year and a 21-gamer overall. So leadoff single, second consecutive frame in which the Rockies have had the first man on base.
It's that changeup. It's off the outside corner, but it's up. So Gonzalez able to get enough of it to flip it into left for a leadoff knock. It's down. It's likely a swing and a miss or maybe a little rollover ground ball.
Arenado cuts and misses on a slider. Well, we're talking third baseman, an elite third baseman, so we should mention Adrian Beltre gets a 2-year extension with the Rangers. They announced that last night. He's signed through 2018. Talked about Beltre during spring training. He should be an easy shoo-in for the Hall of Fame, and he doesn't probably get the due he deserves.
I would agree with that on both counts.
4-time Gold Glover. He's in his 19th major league season. That is crushed, and boy, I thought that ball was going a lot deeper than it did. As Fowler makes a pretty easy play.
Yeah, I think the angle of attack is Arenado had to kind of go down and get that ball. It imparted a lot of backspin.
So out number one. Maybe more off the end. Sweet spot. Here's Parra. This ball misses away for ball one.
Last couple years, Gonzalez has not run much. Used to be a pretty legit base stealing threat.
Rockies were basically a small ball team yesterday. They stole 3 bases.
Jake not particularly quick to home plate, so stolen base numbers against him for opposing base runners. fairly highly successful. Should be a count where Walt Weiss might want to start Cargo, play a little run and hit.
Not going. And it's 2-2. Walt Weiss in his 4th season as the Rockies manager. Young general manager Jeff Bridich. Swing and a miss. Runner going. Out at second. Strike him out. Throw him out. Double play. And the inning's over. Still nothing in the 4th. Arrieta struck out Parra. Ross nailed Gonzalez.
I thought they'd have him going on the 2-1, and he wasn't. And just a perfect throw by Ross. That's a real big lead. No contact. And a great throw by Ross.
You see Russell, even though he tagged him and he was out, he kept that glove there. A lot of guys do that swipe tag. Little infielders really, with replay now, are better off just holding the tag in case the guy comes off the bag. He's already saved. Rizzo, high fly, right field, and gone. He needed that. First run driven in a while, and it's 1-0.
Snapped a long hitless streak yesterday. Now he goes deep. Got beat by a fastball last time up. This time they're going to try to go cutter in. Look at him open up that hip, drop the head, and boom. That's your Ford home run replay. It's number 3 for the main ingredient. What's Cargo doing out there? He's acting like he was going to camp under that one.
Jorge Soler, high, deep, left center. Gone! Back to back. 2-0.
Oh my. That was one impressive swing of the bat right there. Second hit of the day for Soler. Solid single. Majestic home run. Fans barely had time to sit down after the Rizzo home run, and Soler does this. It's deja vu all over again. Ford home run replay.
First 2 pitches of the inning leave the yard. Bergman was terrific first time through the order. Had to make a ton of pitches to Fowler and Bryant to get out of the third. And then boom, 4th inning. Back to back. First time the Cubs have hit consecutive home runs this year. Yeah, Rizzo's first RBI in 6 games. He had 10 knocked in the first 5 and then went into a drought. His slumps usually don't last very long. 3-2. Baez bounces foul. Struck him out. Probably was thinking 3 straight homers. Are you in charge of planning your next social gathering? Plan a day or evening at Wrigley Field and enjoy special perks only available inside the ballpark. The Cubs offer special ticket packages for groups of 15 or more. Visit Cubs.com/groups, and as always, we remind you if JD is going, he will gladly attend, but he will not do the planning.
When and where. Concede that one to the pitcher.
Busy afternoon for Gonzalez.
I'll tell you this about Bergman, those home runs haven't forced him out of the strike zone. The strike 3 to Baez was right over the heart of the plate, and that fastball right there to Russell was pretty well channeled as well.
Well, the other thing about it, as a pitcher, you're not trying to give up home runs, but there was 2 pitches. And we saw in the Red Series, the walks, Caesar lines to left. But yeah, at least he's kept his pitch count in order. And as the Cubs do grab the lead, Rizzo to right. Next pitch, Soler to the bleachers in left center, 2-0.
This lineup, things can happen in a hurry. Back-to-back pitches. Rizzo and then Soler go deep, and the Cubs now lead 2-0.
Arrieta back to work.
So, number 3 for Rizzo, number 2 for Soler.
Reynolds with a single. His first time up. 10th major league season. All the strikeouts, but he can hit the ball a long way.
Dangerous bat. And you've got to use as a part-time player now in a platoon situation or 3-4 times a week. And come off the bench and do some damage. Hit 13 home runs in a part-time role for the Cardinals last year.
Strike 3. I'm on a heater.
Well, when you're behind in the count against Arrieta, it's hard not to be thinking about the breaking pitches. And then tough to react to that heater. Reynolds probably thought this one was a little bit up, but it was good enough.
6th overall first. Called strike 3 as Rayburn takes ball 1. Cubs trying to even up the series after the Rockies took the opener 6-1.
Rayburn's an interesting cat. He's been around a while now. Broke in with Detroit in 2004. His last 4 seasons, he's gone in terms of batting average, $171, then 272, 200, 301. It's like every other year, it's like he's a different guy. And a part-time player in each of those 4 seasons, so it's not like he's getting a lot more at-bats one year than the next. His OPS in those alternating years, 480, which is terrible, 900, which is elite, then 547 in 2014, and then bouncing back to 936 last season.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It is weird. Getting over 200 plate appearances in those seasons. Caesar over, no play this time.
So the Rockies, when they signed him, clearly not buying into the every other year program. They're just looking at what he did last year and saying, you know what, this is a pretty good hitter and he's going to help us.
And he had signed a minor league deal on March 4th, so don't have any guarantees as he strikes out. For 7 for Arrieta. Curveball.
Yeah. I like his curveball a lot today. I mean, it's always a debate. What's Arrieta's best pitch? And from game to game, it might be a different pitch, but that curveball is awfully good here today.
David Hale up in the Rockies pen. Bergman is now on deck.
Three hits for the Rockies, a couple of scratch singles, and a solid double by Garneau.
Russell will glove, throw to Rizzo, inning over. They go down 1-2-3. Cubs lead 2-0 in the 5th. Thank you. Cubs will have Ross, Arrieta, and Fowler against Bergman. This, no doubt, will be his final inning. Pitcher spot due to lead off in the 6th. Rockies shift to the left on their infield. They play pretty much straight away in the outfield against David. He fouls for strike one. Nice grab by a fan in the front row of the upper deck. Hello there, young man. 0-2. Got him. 5 for Bergman. Mentioned he's from Southern California, La Cañada, just north of Pasadena. Never considered a top prospect. He barely cracked the Rockies' top 30 list a few years ago after a good season at High A. Has battled this afternoon.
Yeah, it's been impressive. He, as advertised, not overpowering, but he's thrown a lot of strikes.
Arrieta into the left field corner. Foul. Just foul.
Times you're concerned about your pitcher running the bases, and you'd almost rather see him make an out. But on a cool day like today, and given Arrieta's conditioning, that's not a concern. He's rather machine-like. Follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, all season long on Comcast Sportsnet. Brought to you by nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com nationwide. He's on your side.
Catch up with Patrick on the upcoming road trip. Enjoying a nice weekend off with his family. And a miss. Back-to-back Ks to start the 5th.
Hitting in center fielder, Dexter Fowler.
Called strike.
Good let up. Beautiful, well placed circle change. Yeah, I think if you asked Walt Weiss before the game, get 5 innings out of Bergman, you're down 2. Just take that or what's behind the curtain. You'll probably take it. You know what? I'll take it.
Or maybe more diplomatically put, he goes 5 innings and gives up 2 runs.
Yeah.
But right, no, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, he definitely would take that.
See, if you're nice to the first base coach, you may get a souvenir. Called strike 3.
Wow.
Bergman's done. He finished with 3 straight strikeouts. 2-0 Cubs.
The Cubs suggest taking public transportation. The Cubs offer a free bike check, now located by the Addison Red Line station. For drivers, the Cubs provide free remote parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games. For information, visit the A to Z guide on Cubs.com.
First home start of 2016 for Jake Arrieta. It is the longest regular season scoreless streak in this ballpark since it opened in 1914. Brandon Barnes, a pinch hitter. It's a one hopper to the second baseman Baez, 1 out. So 46 innings and counting without allowing a run here for Arrieta.
Dominant here, well, dominant everywhere, but historically so here.
Cubs will get into the Rockies bullpen in the bottom of this inning. It looks like it'll be David Hale. See, yesterday their closer is left-hander Jake McGee. Former Cub Jason Mott expected to be a big part of this bullpen. He's on the disabled list.
Adam
Shoulder
Ottavino
issue
as well, right? He's down.
Ottavino, yeah, coming back from Tommy John. Arrieta looking for his 23rd consecutive quality start, going back to last June 21st. Already a franchise record. Ton of strikes today from Jake. You add stuff and you add command and you get Jake Arrieta.
Yeah. and you know, mound presence, you stir those all up, and you got a heck of a cake.
Thomas able to hold up. Last 22 all quality outings. And there you go, 28 walks in his last 22 starts. That's Maddox-like. Short center, Fowler will get there. Well, tonight, make sure you get caught up on a busy day in sports with Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC. Recap scores, standings, and highlights of today's games. Get the latest on the Blackhawks prior to Game 3 tomorrow, and more starting tonight at 6:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Full recap of Rockies-Cubs Game 2. Nothing on Trevor Story. Fouled off. Already 2 strikeouts today. That's 19 to lead the major leagues, and only 49 plate appearances. He got 7 home runs and 2 triples. Bit of all or nothing so far. His 11th major league game. 1-2.
Yeah, I was reading a story on Story. I believe it's on Fangraphs. Trying to find a comparable for him. The power and the swings and misses, and they were talking about J.D. Martinez, who's turned into be a very dangerous hitter. And an everyday shortstop that put up numbers like Martinez, you've got a heck of a player.
Not missed by much.
He was at Double-A at this time last year, split time between New Britain and Albuquerque. Exactly 10 home runs and 40 RBIs in each of those 2 stops.
Full count, 3-2 on the Irving, Texas native.
So we're going to find out, right? So the old push comes to shove argument. What's he going to do here on 3-2?
Well, I'm going to guess swing. And with Arrieta being right around the plate, I might push all my chips in on the swing.
You're going all in.
Yeah,
I'm going all in. Yep. And Casper, folks, has pushed all his chips into the middle of the table. Phil Hellmuth.
Oh, swing at that, Trevor.
Yeah,
he did.
He
swung
Casper
at it.
wins the pot.
He swung. Casper wins. Casper wins. 2-0 in the 6th. We'll be back.
in front 2-0 as we move to the bottom of the 6th. Chris Bryant leading the inning off, and the big one-year anniversary of being in the show this weekend. And he joked the other day saying he might have to rent out that party room in the brand new clubhouse. Of course, all his buddies would be there, and celebrating seemed like the perfect kind of way to go out. And he said, I know for a fact I'll end up in the middle of that dance party soon. But Chris Bryant said it's flown by. Couldn't believe he'd be where he is today, guys, of course, on billboards all over the city, right?
First pitch swinging against David Hale. And Bryant retired by Gonzalez. Thank you, Kelly. 2-0 Cubs.
Yeah, it's been quite a year. Rookie of the Year, All-Star team.
By the way, I'm not giving my money back, even though Trevor Story did not really swing at that pitch. But on appeal, call was made by Vic Carpazza. You got to look at the replay during the inning break.
Well, you've factored that all into your wager, that if there was a check swing, you might get the call.
Hey. Official call was a swing.
John Maley very good at letting his guys know a pitcher's approach, and you get the sense that Maley and Rizzo maybe had a conversation. Hey, go up there looking for that breaking ball. Hitters will sometimes look for a certain pitch. A lot of times they'll go up there looking in a certain zone, either look in or look away.
Is, I guess, inside. If I get caught that bottom left-hand corner.
It's the byproduct of Anthony crowding the plate. There's a lot of pitches that are on the plate that are called balls because the umpire just reacts to his positioning.
Scatter in the bullpen.
They're not playing the same game that the guys in the Cubs bullpen. Hang in there and take it off the kneecap if you must. 10-10 lifetime for Hale on a 4.38 ERA.
Ball 4.
Kind of like Bergman, who preceded him. Not a power guy, a little below average in terms of velocity. Slider and a changeup.
Nice day for Soler. Single and a homer. Getting cleanup this afternoon.
Right after Rizzo hit his home run, he gets a breaking pitch from Bergman. Wastes no time. Pumping it into the seats.
Second year with the Rockies for Hale. Just joined the roster today to replace Nick Hundley, who went to the concussion DL. Bounced foul to third. Hale originally came up with his hometown Atlanta Braves. And as Nicholas on Twitter pointed out, he'd love to see a Hale-Caesar matchup.
Ooh.
Possibly in this 6th inning. I'm in.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping we'd get a split screen of Chad Noble, the Cubs bullpen catcher, when Brandon Barnes was up there hitting.
Very nice. 3-1. He's behind Soler.
Pull out the driver.
will get foul. It had some hair on it.
That ball was scalded. So this is all part of the maturation of a young hitter, right? So you're in a hitter's count. You got the 3-1 pitch. You put a real good swing out. You smoked it. So now you got to try to crawl inside the pitcher's head. Now what's he going to do? Is he going to double up? Is he going to try to crowd me? You're going to go breaking ball away. It's tough the first time you're seeing a guy in a game.
Gonzalez again.
Thinking that was straight deep. I think we saw that the whole way. Kids Sundays are back here at Wrigley Field. Following tomorrow's game with the Rockies, the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger will have the opportunity to run the bases, weather permitting. For ticket availability and information on how to receive a field access wristband for your child to run the bases, visit Cubs.com/kids. And the weather should be spectacular, right?
Carlos Gonzalez has caught 6 fly balls in this game, including a terrific play in foul territory up against the padding. And as you mentioned on the Rizzo homer, he acted like he was going to catch that ball.
Yeah, and I think that one there, he was just trying to deke Anthony as if he didn't see it, with the hopes that he might be able to double him off first base. Maybe he didn't see it. I don't know.
Is playing second today. He's going to play multiple defensive positions. Rizzo takes off, swing and a miss, throw to the shortstop side. Anthony is in. Rizzo with his first steal of the year, 17 last year.
Good aggressive lead and a nice jump for the big guy. Are hoping to see a more measured approach from Javi Baez in certain situations. You don't want to take away his aggressiveness. He's always going to have that big, powerful swing. He's got a very quick bat. In certain situations, like down in the count, they want him to be willing to shorten up some.
Reds have come back to tie the Cardinals. They're in the 6th inning at Busch Stadium. It's 4-4. 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. For Cincinnati. Got him swinging to end the inning. Let's go to the 7th. Cubs 2, Rocks nothing. Annual Race to Wrigley charity run. It's presented by ATI Physical Therapy. Still time to sign up and join the fun 5K run. Cubs Charities will donate proceeds to support critical care needs for pediatric patients in Chicago through Advocate Children's Hospital. Sign up at racetowrigley.com. Now we will be in Cincinnati next Saturday, as you see Jake Arrieta's scoreless streak continuing here at Wrigley. But in honor of the Wrigley 5K run, JD will not take the elevator to the second floor lobby. Instead, he'll ride the escalator.
Always looking to do my part.
Here's Gonzalez. 2-0. What's the Arrieta conversion chart look like? 2-0, but he's pitching, so.
Yeah, it feels.
But it's against the Rockies.
Against the Rockies.
They can score some runs.
Pop. It's feeling like 5-0.
Diving stop, Baez from the knee, and he gets him.
How slick was that? With that fancy teal glove. I guess it's blue. Beautiful play. Point we've made many times. Nice to have a utility guy that can play not only many positions, but be above average, well above average, no matter where you put him.
Arenado pops it up. It'll be Baez in the outfield grass. 2 down. Zach Miller bears tight end. 1 out away from conducting the 7th inning stretch here at Wrigley. There's Parra. And Arrieta's first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Bryant off the line and pulled in as Parra bunts. Arrieta will pick it up, and good decision to not even throw it. Is it just me, JD? But anecdotally, I think more guys have tried that against the shift, and I think more guys have been successful here early on.
I know there's been a lot of talking about it. This kind of Parra's had this in his game all along. It's a debatable play. It's generally considered not a good play with 2 outs. But he's got a home run hitter behind him. And I think the math changes when there's a guy like Arrieta on the mound. He's doing whatever you can to get on base.
Here's Reynolds.
Most folks would say down 2, you should be up there swinging, trying to get yourself an extra base hit. But legit home run hitter on deck. Arrieta happens to make a mistake, and Reynolds can knock one out of the ballpark. We're tied.
Bullpen is quiet. Two strikes on Reynolds. Miller will have a little help today.
Reynolds got caught looking at a fastball last time up.
Runner goes on the 0-2. Throw to second. Safe. Parra is in.
Once Reynolds got down in the count, the likelihood that he would do damage decreases, so Parra steals the bag to get into scoring position.
Now 1-2.
Eight strikeouts so far for Jake here this afternoon. At 6 in each of his first 2 starts. The hook, perhaps. Oh, sinker away.
Two. Bouncer to Russell. Inning over. Timeout for the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by
Parr's out for interference. Sorry about that.
Mazda. Okay, ball hit him. Gotcha. Here's Zach Miller.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Bears tight end Zach Miller.
All right, Chicago, baby, let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the Rockies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs!
Top of the 7th. Gerardo Parra looked like he was fielding this ball. It did not touch him though, but he was called out. So Russell, it's a 6 unassisted, and they're saying no at bat.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
For Reynolds.
You see guys have to jump over a ground ball, and they'll kind of slow down sometimes to try to create a bit of a screen effect. But they sell it as not deliberate. And that was clearly a deliberate attempt to mess with Russell there a little bit.
Fouled back and out of play. Now if the ball touches the runner, he is called out and the batter is credited with a hit. But we heard no at bat. So I guess Reynolds is still batting. Is that possible? As Russell is thrown out by Arenado.
I don't know.
Reynolds would bat. They still have him listed as the next guy up on the board. Huh. Okay. So 1 out, bottom of the 7th.
I don't know. That's really weird. seen like 75,000 baseball games in my life. And every year we still see stuff we've never seen before.
Yep.
There's the Hail Caesar matchup.
There you go. And it's Hail to Caesar, so you don't even have to mess with it, really. Spelling's a little different, but that's okay.
Fun matchup. The movie was a little disappointing.
Outside. And a soft liner. Caesar wins the matchup. All hail Caesar.
Watch him pull the hands in. Just enough to get enough of that barrel onto that baseball. Matt Caesar is an intriguing guy. I don't know how many chances he's going to get, how much playing time, but a chance to be a pretty good player, I think.
So they're listing the MLB app is that Mark Reynolds grounded out to the shortstop Addison Russell, but that doesn't sound right to me. And as we showed you on the replay, the ball did not hit Hara. So we'll find out at the top of the 8th how.
Yeah, but it seems like, you know, Reynolds could be not charged with an at-bat, but not be able to bat leading up the next inning, because it seems like there would be an advantage, a potential advantage gained by willfully interfering with a ground ball. You know, if you wanted that hitter to bat again in the next inning, so that, you know, you could argue that that's an advantage gained for the hitting club.
They are checking with Elias just to make sure on the scoring of this. So interference on the runner, trying to figure out how Reynolds figures into that. And I'm guessing Reynolds would not get another at bat. He put the ball in play.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find, I'm flipping through the rule book here, trying to find the rule that specifically speaks to the interference on a base runner. He intentionally interferes with a thrown ball or hinders a fielder attempting to make a play on a batted ball. That would be the ruling.
You can see he had a long conversation with one of the umpires at the end of the inning. Probably saying, Gerardo, you can't do that.
If the umpire declares the hindrance intentional, with less than 2 outs, the runner and batter are both out.
Caesar steals second.
With 2 out, the umpire shall declare the batter out. I think normally when they talk about hindrance, they're talking about contact.
Right, so if that rule applied, Reynolds would be out.
Yeah.
Yep. And that would be the 6 unassisted. Yep. Okay, makes sense. 3-2 misses. Ross walks. What you'll often see on plays like that is runners will slow down and let the ball either go right in front of them or behind them, but you never see someone actually mimic reaching out to touch it. Well, chance to add on here as Arrieta normally would be asked to bunt in this spot, but might not be the case. We'll see.
Bill's maybe going to give him one swing, and then if he doesn't do anything, perhaps then put the bunt on. The fear is, of course, if he hits it on the ground, he could end up with a double play and not give Fowler a chance with a man in scoring position.
The ruling has come down from Elias. Reynolds will be credited with a single and the runner out, 6 unassisted. So it's being treated as if the ball hit the runner. Okay.
I don't like it. I don't think we should get a hit there.
In the air to center. And Parra makes a catch. Tagging and heading to third is Caesar.
What if Mark Reynolds wins the batting title this year? What if Jake Arrieta loses the lowest batting average against pitching title this year by 1 point?
Yeah, the original ruling we heard just didn't make sense. No at bat for Reynolds doesn't mean anything, so he was given a single. So there you go. Just when you think you've seen it all. First and third, Fowler sends one in the air to left. Rayburn over foul ground. He stumbles on the mound. That ball landed foul, and hopefully he's all right. That is a perilous situation for an outfielder. You're keyed in on where the ball is, and all of a sudden you've got a bullpen mound there.
And you got a brick wall not that far away too. It's a lot to think about. And then you get short-strided by the back of the bullpen too. You know, he's trying to take that long step, and boom! All of a sudden he runs into the slope of the mound.
Low, and people tweeting, can a no-hitter end that way? The answer is absolutely. I've laid out the scenario of 2 outs, 9th inning, ground ball to second. The runner does that. Game ends, no-hitter over, batter gets a single.
We got to go to the rules committee. We got to change this. We can't be willy-nilly awarding hits left and right like that.
The sporting thing to do. Dexter Fowler deep to right, way back, a 3-run homer, 5-0. Wow.
Number 2 on the year for Fowler. Talking earlier about watching batting practice, he was putting on a pretty good show in BP. Ford home run replay for the 3rd time today. Mr. Fowler goes large.
What a start. Third Ford home run replay. Cubs have scored 5 times on 3 shots. Rizzo, Soler, and Fowler. Fowler hit a game-winning homer against his former team early in the season last year at Coors Field. This one just pads the lead. Slowly rising this week. It's bringing out the heavy lumber today. That'll be an infield hit for Bryant from about 50 feet. His first time on base.
No chance at all for Arenado, who is playing deep, as you would with Bryant up there. It's a slider out away from him. He just rolls over on it.
Here comes Walt Weiss. He goes to the home plate umpire Bill Welke, meaning he'll make a double switch. Ben Paulson is coming into the game for Reynolds. I think Jason Gurka will be the pitcher, a left-hander. We'll be back 5-0 in the 7th. Double switch. Reynolds out. I guess Reynolds wrapped his day.
Yes, he did.
And here's Jason Gurka.
Gurka, a 28-year-old left-hander. This is his second season with the Rockies organization. A cup of coffee with the big club last year. Made 9 appearances. Just 7 2/3 innings. After spending 7 seasons in the Orioles organization. He's another one that comes out of the bullpen more a finesse guy than a power guy. I'm not used to seeing this. Most bullpens, it's 95-mile-an-hour flamethrowers.
Two and one to Rizzo. Again, no pun intended. Put a wrap on the Reynolds par of play. They treated it like he got hit.
Right.
By the ground ball. And by the way, the umpire may have called it that way. We needed a couple of looks to make sure it didn't touch him. Over near the tarp and just out of play. I mean, we tie it all together. Yeah. Count with 2 outs. Bryant goes. Rizzo takes strike 3 on the outside corner. He didn't like the call, but the Cubs get 3 on the Fowler home run, and it's now 5-0 after 7.
Follow Cubs baseball live with the MLB.com @BAT app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com @BAT, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. Sophia's at her first game.
One of 41,702.
She got up this morning and said, "Hey, Mom and Dad, Arietta's pitching today. Let's go to the yard."
Yankees still on the mound, and we're in the 8th inning. He's got a 5-0 lead. Ryan Rayburn, the hitter. This is the largest attendance of this opening homestand, 48,882 on Monday night. 41,702. And a glorious Saturday afternoon. Pretty well, but it's going to curl out of play. Tuesday, one of baseball's greatest rivalries is renewed. Jason Hayward with his new team against the Cardinals in St. Louis. Coverage starts at 6:30 with Cubs pregame live presented by Fields Auto on CSN Chicago Plus. John Lackey will face his ex-team. Has been out in front a couple of times. Trickled foul.
This is the anniversary of Bert Hooton's no-hitter. 1972. Bert pitching for the Cubs. No-hit the Phillies in just his 4th major league start.
Leadoff walk.
4 games for Hooton. He allowed only 8 hits in 30 innings. Wow. Well, leadoff walk. Got folks' attention in the Cubs dugout. Pedro Strop saunters over to the bullpen mound. He's going to start to loosen up.
Originally as an infielder in the Rockies organization, Pedro Strop. Bounce to third, backhanded play, Bryant. Throw to second for 1. They turn 2, 5 to 4 to 3.
It's almost as if Jake saw Strop get up and said, wait a minute here, this is my ball game. Let's get a ground ball and clean this thing up. Pretty play around the horn, started by Bryant. Just made a couple errors yesterday. This is a nice play, though. A little in between hop. Very strong, accurate throw to Baez with a quick turn.
Paulson swings away. His first plate appearance today. Fowler makes the catch. 8 shutout for Arrieta so far, leading 5-zip. for action here in the bottom of the 8th. Gurka to Soler and a strike. Soler, Baez, Russell. Past the mound. Picked up by the second baseman Adames, and they got him. And now for our hefty home run. Cubs went back to back to grab the lead. This was the second right after Rizzo.
That was majestic, towering home run, no doubt about it. That's what they're looking from Jorge, a little more lift.
First 2 pitches of the 4th inning off the starter Bergman. Baez, big swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt.
Finale of the series in the homestand tomorrow afternoon. John Lester will work for the Cubs. Tyler Chatwood for the Rockies.
Tyler Chatwood, John Lester. 121st pitch.
Lackey, Hamill, Hendricks for the Cardinals series. You've seen their lineup yet? Ooh, look out.
Everybody's all right. Two strikes on Baez. The question again?
Cardinals rotation for the series.
I have not. Tomahawk out into right center. Baez will make the turn. And it's a double.
It was interesting earlier in that sequence. Garneau called for a high fastball, motioned with his glove that he wanted upstairs. And Gurka threw it pretty much down the heart of the plate. So this time he goes into yogi mode. He's going straight up old school there. Gurka hits a spot, and remarkably, Baez gets on top of it and hammers that ball to right center. You're not supposed to be able to do that. I don't care if the guy's not overpowering. Hit a pitch that high on a line like that. It's pretty remarkable.
Here's Russell, runner at second, 1 out. Baez now 2 out of 4. His season debut. I do have pitching matchups for the Cardinals series. Monday, John Lackey and Mike Leake. Tuesday, Jason Hamill, Jaime Garcia. Wednesday, Kyle Hendricks, Carlos Martinez.
Okay. Good rotation they've got over there in St. Louis. They were outstanding last year.
And they get Adam Wainwright back. And the throw stayed out of center as Adames toppled over on top of Baez. Reds lead that game now 8-6 in St. Louis. Wainwright started the game, gave up 7 earned runs in 5 1/3, so his ERA after 3 starts was 8.27. Saw Wainwright in relief in the playoffs last year. No Lance Lynn this year. This one does get into center. Throwing error on the pitcher Gurka.
Thomas, because of his positioning right there, tempted to try to make a play on Baez. Seems to me you see a lot of that early in the season. Teams work on it in spring training, work on all their pickoffs, and usually a couple of those errant throws, and they just, let's shelve that for a while.
Infield in. 2-0.
Garneau pretty quick back there, quick feet, well positioned to knock that one down.
Travis Wood up in the Cubs bullpen. 2-1.
Got a little greedy there, talked himself into getting a fastball and well out in front of the changeup. It's all right. It's okay to cheat every now and then. Especially 2-0. You got a couple pitches to play with still. Back changeups, they may feel like they've slowed him down enough where they can get in with a heater.
Gurka Garneau battery here in the 8th. Looking forward to the Gurka Jerko matchup. The Rockies play the Cardinals. Three-two. Ball 4.
Cub fans, let's go. Don't miss your chance to catch the best matchups in baseball. Join the season ticket holder waiting list. It's easy. It's free to register. For details, visit Cubs.com/waiting list.
Steve Foster, the pitching coach.
Twins looking to win back-to-back games. They're tied 4-4 with the Angels in the 8th. Mariners beat the Yankees 3-2. Felix Hernandez over CC Sabathia in that one.
Blue Jays 1-0 in Boston, bottom of the 2nd. Mets lead the Indians 1-0 in the 3rd in Cleveland. A's have a 3-1 edge over the Royals in the 2nd at the Coliseum.
Caesar 1 out of 3 today. Fly out to right, line out to left, and a single last time up to left field.
Pitch to Matt is outside. 3-0. Ross on deck. Is going to get a chance to finish this game, or he's just simply trying to coax his manager into giving him another at bat. Ball 4, they're loaded.
Number 3, the catcher, David Ross.
Arrieta right at 100 pitches through 8 innings. He is in the on-deck circle.
I think it's a chance to get the shutout and keep him in this game.
A fly to right. Gonzalez will make the catch. Baez will tag. So will Russell. 6-0. First time the Cubs have scored without hitting a home run today.
Next up, the pitcher, Jake Arrieta.
Fourth plate appearance for Jake. He's flied out twice and struck out once. One and two. He stays alive. He'll win today. Chance to win the series tomorrow.
Is treating Jake with respect. He's pitching him like a legit hitter. Back-to-back changeups.
Gets him this time to end the inning. Cubs add to their lead. We go to the ninth. They lead by 6. Presented by Binny's Beverage Depot, and it'll go to Jake Arrieta. 8 shutout innings. Travis Wood will pitch the ninth. 100 pitches. He was great.
Yeah, I thought Joe might let him try to finish this one off to get the shutout, but all that significant. What is significant is that he continues to dominate. So what, 48 2/3 consecutive scoreless here in this ballpark. He was the pitcher of the month last year in the National League in both August and September, and will be on his way to that award again here in April of 2016.
Benny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. So here's Wood against Adames and a first pitch strike. One and one. Top of the order here, Story and Gonzalez. Jason Hayward is now in the game in right. Caesar moves to left. Bryant will throw to first. One out. So Hayward goes into Soler's spot. Trevor's Story has struck out all 3 times. Those at bats coming against the starter Arrieta. Called strike.
Very reminiscent of Troy Tulowitzki, the way he sets up in the batter's box.
Still 2 strikes on him. Gonzalez on deck. Wood treated his offseason like he had in the past, went into spring training with a starter's mindset, even though he knew he probably would end up back in the bullpen.
I think ultimately he would like to return to the rotation, probably because he gets a hit that way.
Yeah,
he really enjoys that part of the game.
You look at his ERA, and he has been much better as a reliever than as a starter. ERA of under 260 in relief, 419 as a starter in his career. Higher strikeout rate as well. In the corner, Hayward is over, and that ball is fair. And Story has a double, his first hit of the series.
After striking out 3 times, Story delivers this 1-out double.
Gonzalez extended his 2-season hitting streak to 21 games with a 4th inning single. He would be caught stealing, and he drives this one deep the other way, and it will go. A 2-run homer for Carlos Gonzalez. 6-2 now. He's got his 4th of the season. RBIs 9 and 10 for Cargo.
His base hit earlier in the ball game was to left field. Hit the ball in that direction a couple of times yesterday. This time he goes big fly out there.
Will be it for Wood. Pedro Strop will try to get the final 2 outs, with the Cubs now leading 6-2, and we'll be right back. The Rockies on the board. They have more extra base hits today, 3 than they had yesterday when they won.
Down through a big high finish, kept his hitting streak alive with a single in the 4th. Home run number 4. 40 last year. Gonzalez, I think, has 1 more year on his deal. Rockies might be looking to move him at the deadline. There's Strop with the quick pitch. So quick we can't even look at the numbers on the graphic.
Signed originally as an infielder with the Rockies back in 2002 out of the Dominican Republic. Arenado takes strike 2. It's 1-2 on him.
Contact has been an issue for Arenado so far in this series. Pop-ups, fly ball here today. Didn't get it out of the infield yesterday.
Strop went to the mound with the Rockies 2006. He has never started a game in the minors or the majors. Every time he's ever pitched has been in relief. Swing and a miss for out number 2.
Well placed slide ball. Arenado out in front. Strop gets a whole bunch of swings and misses with that slider.
More out. Jake Arrieta's 3-0. It would have been lunacy to say Jake Arrieta could improve on his 1.77 ERA from last year. Well, it's only 3 starts, but it's 1.23. Swing and a miss. 2-1 on Parra. to Strop. Cubs win. Cubs win. They even up the series at a game apiece. And they improved to 9 up and just 2 down through 11.
After playing a very sloppy game yesterday, back on the mark here this afternoon, doing everything well. 3 home runs. Arrieta outstanding yet again. Solid defensively. Boy, Baez, a couple very nice plays out there. Chris Bryant started that 1 double play. So, yeah, solid day all the way around for this Cubs team.
And Arrieta has won each of his first 3 starts, 8 shutout frames today.
You know, Jake, I don't know if you ever had occasion when you were a kid to be in a little bit of a skirmish where you've got a group of guys and there's another group of guys and everybody's talking tough, and you got that one big guy on your side. And I'm glad he's on our side. That's the way it is with Arrieta. I'm glad he's on our side.
Well, he got some offensive support today as the Cubs hit 3 home runs. And the first home run came from a guy who has 4 game-winning RBIs already. He's standing by with Kelly.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Lynn. Well, 3rd home run of the year, Anthony. That 2nd time around from Bergman, what did you see there that you liked?
First time he was just sneaking on all of us, so we all told ourselves to start a little earlier there and just slide her down in and put a good swing on it.
I know for you, you would have loved hitting-wise to have started the season a little stronger, but with that home run, things heating up, describe how you're feeling. Is it getting a little more comfortable right now for you at the plate?
We're 9-2, so it's all good, and that's all that matters. So we got to keep winning ball games, and we're having a lot of fun doing it.
With that being said, Jake Arrieta, 48 2/3 innings here at Wrigley, scoreless streak intact. Is it possible that we're seeing him get even better this season?
I mean, it's just what he does. So set up and keep doing his thing. That's what we do, and we get some leads from him and let him settle down. So he pitched well again for us, and we want to keep it rolling.
All right, go use that party room, Anthony.
Thanks, Kelly.
There you go, guys. 9-2. That's all that matters to Anthony.
Kelly, thanks. Good work today. And make sure you join us on a Tuesday. CSN Plus, Game 2 of a 3-game set against the Cardinals. 6:30 for the pregame coverage. From JD and our entire CSN crew here at Wrigley Field. Len Casper with your final score. Cubs 6, Rockies 2. Stay tuned. Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs post-game live is next.